let's learn to make fried green tomatoes. The most important part of your fried green tomatoes is the green tomato, and these are seasonal, and since I grow my own, I've got a steady supply in the spring for my fried green tomatoes. Now you don't want them too big and you don't want them too small. You want them in between. A baseball is too big and a golf ball is too small. So you want them between this size and this size. You're going to need some buttermilk and a big plastic tub to put your buttermilk in, and after you slice your tomatoes you will let them sit in your buttermilk and marinate. And I like to add some black pepper to my buttermilk to marinate the tomatoes. Now you want to slice your tomatoes not too thick, but not too thin. I like them about 1/8 of an inch thick, no thicker than 3/16 of an inch, like this, about that thick. Nobody wants their fried green tomatoes too tough. So slice all your tomatoes and put them in your bowl of buttermilk. And you want to let them sit for about 2 hours, if you can. If you don't have time, let them sit for 15-20 minutes, but the longer they sit, the better they're going to be. Okay, I've added my black pepper to the buttermilk, and some people say that the milk deactivates the capsaicin in the black pepper. Well, it does a little bit, but it won't get it all. And just take your sliced tomatoes and put them in the buttermilk and mash them in there real good. Get them all covered up. And you may have to add some more buttermilk. Just make sure you don't get all of your wife's buttermilk, especially if she's making cornbread. You'll need that for your cornbread. And you'll put these in the refrigerator and let them sit, like I said, for about 2 hours if you can. But if you can't, don't have the time, just as long as you can. While our tomatoes are marinating in the refrigerator, soaking in their buttermilk bath, we need to make our breading for our tomatoes. And it's really, really simple. You'll need just plain flour, some cornmeal, and something to season it with. And mine's pretty simple. And the formula for this is I use 3 cups of plain flour to about 1/2 cup of cornmeal. And I shake these together and then season it. And I like black pepper, so I add a good shake of black pepper in there. Maybe a little more, yeah, because I like my tomatoes seasoned. And then I add in about a teaspoon of salt. And I use the pickling salt because it's much finer. And I shake this all together. And you can add other spices to it if you like some onion powder and garlic powder. And I think I'll do that. Make mine different today. So just get your spices out, whatever you like. Let's add some garlic powder in there. And some onion powder. And this will become our dredge for our tomatoes before we fry them. There we go. And I'll show you how to dredge your tomatoes. Okay, we've taken our tomatoes out of the refrigerator and where they've been marinating, and you can see how this buttermilk has thickened up on them. And they're ready to go into our dredge that we made. I like to put 3 or 4 in here at a time and let them coat on one side, flip him over with your fingers, coat the other side, make a little on there and pat him down and just flip him a couple times, and then put them off on a plate and let them sit. And you'll do this until you have most of your tomatoes done. Another thing you can do is have some frying while you have some dredging and you just have a production line. And that help works if you've got some help. But I don't have any help here today. We'll coat up enough tomatoes that I can stay ahead of myself, and I'll show you how to fry them. But coating them, there's no secret to coating them. One thing I do like to do is if they sat before I can fry them, is I'll put them over here and coat them again. And some people don't like that much coating on them. See, like this one's starting to moisten up again, I'll hit him again. And double coat him. You don't have to. I do sometimes, and I don't sometimes. It's whatever you want to do. Look at there. These tomatoes are looking wonderful. Okay, let's fry them now. Okay, let's fry our tomatoes. So I like to try to fit in as many as I can in my pan. And while these are frying, I will ready some more to drop in the pan when these are done, so I can just keep frying them. And there we go. And they're about 2 to 3 minutes aside. We'll lift them up with a fork and look and see how they're progressing, and then flip them over. But you want them just before a golden brown. And you have to do with this with a fork. You can't do it with a spatula. You have to. I'll show you the technique for turning them over in your frying pan. And you can use this method of making fried green tomatoes for other vegetables like zucchini or eggplant even. Okay, now to turn them over, you just push him up against the side and flip him over like that. Pull him against the side and flip him over. You just go around the side of your frying pan. And you can see just about the color they need to be. Look at there. And you won't have to season these because we seasoned the breading that's on them already. And when I'm done with this, I'll give you the secret to my sauce that you dip them in. Alright, they're done. Let's take them out. And I think my wife wants the first taste of these. She's my official fried green tomato taster. Oh, look at that. And there's really nothing to these. They're just this easy. Now, for my signature sauce, all you need is a package of the ranch dressing mix from your supermarket, and shred up some carrots and red bell peppers. And I use my Magic Bullet and shred them together in the Magic Bullet, then add them to the mix. I also add some buttermilk and sour cream to mine instead of using just mayonnaise. And that's the secret to my fantastic dipping sauce for these fantastic fried green tomatoes like your grandmother used to make. And I'll guarantee you they're better than that imitation southern food restaurant that you'll find dotted around Georgia and other states. Enjoy your fried green tomatoes.